Au ya you. You will lay a desire. Then I'd wear that power. Via Yatija, this again. I say, oh, me, I'm right. And by doing you, I'm a part of your part with them. Well, on it goes away. Alas, I will that Gianna, we say you. Papa Mora, get me up when anywhere, Momba Sivole. Sivole. L'arrangeur parmi national, très trop fort. We are glad that we want by say so where that you are. I want Saibo. There be oh. Do a bad play you go back for Monia. Papa Yankita, petit, brother Fassoni. Kaidaka. Bena Paya was a go, Mambo Panjago. Apple blow a café. One was a young café. We are for them one money up a clay you can. None your see one. What's the cat to your way at me on your own? And more. Neseto. Is a book where they play. Go on, yeah, I can't salute. What's what got that to your way? I think on your one. Emma, Neseto, now, with is a book where they play. Go on, yeah, can you get? Now, getting your bed when I know sound safely. Hey, I go. Let's do what you just grab it to work on. Your book on ya. Are you a no? Saibo Dakiano, and we say you over. I want the Yokamala, need a boy. And yes, I'm going to buy them with Mwege. Hey, Imo, am I gay? One of what I want, I guess me, I'm done, and it the well. Oh, ow. Saibo Dakiano, and we say you over. So like it, I'm going to never boy. Netoni and Rayo. Hey, are you? Opo just say, oh, yeah, I'm a walking ever. Kaidaka, when it was to work, I go to net in your cafe. I just know. This is what I say. Saibo, yeah. You like do I get more by one name on tell it that you by Potamu, Tanyada. Planning Papa, Winnie Gasia, Bacao Lage, the Pussy Bob, the PSC, baby. The 10 years you don't look enough for Anya. There was a Bob, was a dress, you, Mammo, Palipo, Dakiano, and I will say you over. I will. Saibo. Back to a black guy, so say. I just want to lay a back to an album, you see you okay. Where you, Ivo? Saibo Boba. Engage the Banglo, where John B. Banglo. On the Kriana, walk like a bad day, noir. So I said. So now, when you're naturally stand, claim the soule. Saibo Dakiano, and I will say you over. I'm done it. So walk away. And no Brazil, Cape Brazil. South Africa, your part, your way. Thank you for your walk there, my one. I'm the Pope and Yaguba. Don't finish it, I say, oh, Clavodio. Say, back in where we are coming. Saibo Dakiano, and I will say you over. Aba pepo swelu ni nde swelu kwa mungu manje dota siko bala Babo jo ase pepo swelu zo luke say ya re ase ba ye no ken one day ye yo pample yo te mo le ya na o ariwo ase o ba ye amo amora da o Saibo Dakiano, and I will say you. I wish a rule of you, my so you Saibo, 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 that young man I will take you. Mop man down the Mary, read on your man, the roof. But you know I say, it's a mayo. That was a yes, you also won't when you. I'm original, I say, Saibo, that young man I will take you.
Oui. Son mobile production.
Good evening, folks. Samson to La Brapa Radio. I want to thank all of you again for tuning in tonight. Please share this video to as many people as possible. We're here to rock it again tonight. Thank God. Thank you for sharing. We're very, very happy to have you here again tonight. Tell your friends, family members that the little bro is on, and we're going to have a wonderful, wonderful conversation here tonight. Please share this video. Share it. It's very important that we have friends and family members joining us to have conversation about our country. There are some very interesting things that are happening in Liberia, and I will hope that you will join us here as we come on air to discuss these things. My Tabata here tonight is going to be unbelievable. It's going to be big. Tell people. Say the liberal is getting ready to start a Tabata that people might not be able to withstand. The hurricane of Tabata is coming on tonight. The tornado of Tabata is coming on tonight. The wave of Tabata is coming tonight. Samson told our brother. Safety, Lord Jesus. I want to thank all of you again tonight. My Lord, we have come before you tonight again to say thank you. Thank you for everything. My Lord, as we come before you, we say to you, we pray to you, we ask you to please provide any kinds of comfort for our brothers and sisters that are not comfortable tonight. Joy that is lacking in the life of some of our brothers and sisters tonight. Peace that some of our brothers and sisters are not able to enjoy tonight. Peace in all of us, our life. We ask you, my Lord. Because you have the power to do that, and so we're not ashamed to come before you publicly to honor you, to ask that yes, indeed, you will do this for us. My Lord, we put the Republic of Liberia in your hands. We put the people of the Republic of Liberia in your hands. Guide us all as you continue to guide us. Because of your guidance, Liberians are still, many Liberians are still breathing. You are with us, and we know that, and we want to thank you. We want to thank you, even though Liberia is a small country, but you're there. We want to thank you for that. My Lord, we ask that the President of the Republic of Liberia be blessed. His hand, whatever he touches in the interest of the Liberian people, that yes, indeed, be blessed. Whichever door he knocks in the interest of the Liberian people, my Lord, the door must be open in your name and under your hands. My Lord, as we come again tonight, we ask that you bless the host country, the United States of America. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, folks. You better than that, they don't look for power on the liberal. Now, the first question you can't ask, better than me, I beg you, my man, don't come reply here tonight. God, the liberal, Thank you, Ben, for joining us. We appreciate it. We appreciate all of you guys. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's go ahead. My situation here tonight is a little bit different. There are two things I'm going to be doing here tonight. First, I'm going to blame whatever is happening. I'm going to blame President George Weah, former President George Weah. Then second, I will also say that President George Weah, you know, there's a saying I read a book one time that it says people learn. Hey Bishop, Bishop, how you doing, my son? How you doing? Welcome, welcome. The liberal is still here, Bishop. But it says that when you evolve, when you change from time to time, it's a process of learning. Nobody stay in one position for life. It doesn't matter how smart you are. You always open up to learn. And I think this whole presidency business I've given President we are another perspective of life. I believe I could be wrong. And I think the man is learning fast. But we'll go into that. His response uh, pretty much holding President Baka feet to the fire. That's what we're talking about. But we'll talk about that. Anyhow, so the Supreme Court, what is it like? Coming to that my own brother and sister are coming, can't choke myself up. I'm big here. Let me take it out so I can breathe a little bit. I'm gonna be like going to something like dinner or something like that. That big up, man. That LPR, dinner. Mr. So able to send me for dinner anyway. The man who can't even pay me at the bullshit, he can pay fast and he can pay me. Oh. Every day I'm on walk, You're not paying me fasting. I can't hear every day. I talk, plenty talk after that I go to sleep. You're not paying me fasting. So I'm gonna choke myself. I'm big here. But anyhow, let's take it serious, folks. So the Supreme Court, you know the situation. The Supreme Court has ruled. Where they were very little bit clearer than before. And so today we listen, we read. President Baka has made a speech. And his speech also followed the line of uh, the Supreme Court. Speaking parliament now that a new thing like bro, everybody you can't speak straight now. When you read say kaya, you say you can't go can't. That's how you can say it now. But anyway, the first thing I want to talk about before I jump on to the Supreme Court, congratulations to I believe Coca has won the election, and we say congratulations to the people of Nima County. You people have demonstrated again, once again, the spirit of DK Wansley, the spirit of people like Thomas Kuomba, the spirit of people like Jackson F. Dole, Mose Duopo. Those people, they were the true defender of Nima County. In any each way you want to turn, and for the Nima people to continue to exhibit and these type of huge responsibility placed on their head by the nation, and they came out with flying color. Nobody fingernail got caught in this process. It was contentious. It was huge, but Nimadians were able to hold themselves together. Why? I say again, the same reason that Nima County will continue to have development going in Nima County more than any other county in Liberia. Most of the part of the Grand County, because most of the people, most of the because of their location and what is happening in the country capital and things like that. So it is being forced. But Nima County, you're not forced. Nima County not forcing the development. The development is coming to Nima County because Nima County decided long ago, long time ago, that this is what they wanted. I told you before, and I will say again. After the war, immediately before the smoke of the gun starts settling down, Nimadian decided we're going to go home. Those that were in the diaspora, those that were in other countries, we're going to go home. But if you go to the village where you were before the war, and you register in that village. You register in that village before you go anywhere else. And the Malian did that. They listened to their leaders. And as a result, because they knew, because many of them were at the peace conference over there in Ghana. They were never left behind. So they knew how this thing was going to be. They knew when the progressive were doing one man, one vote campaign, Nimbadians were involved. Nimbadian was being educated. Nimbadian was educating their sons and daughters about one man, one vote, how important that was going to be. And immediately after the war, they went back to remind each other. Because even though they said, even though people like Digger won't selling that, they're not with us. But that idea stayed with us. That idea is here to stay. And if we manage it and harness the ability to be able to understand the legislation process, to be able to understand the electoral process in this country, that indeed NIMBA will be successful. So like they will, they're everything. Yeah, they don't agree with everything with each other, but that one subject matter, one man, one vote, they took it too serious. Places like Grand then they come from where they were going to Monreal, southeast. They come from Ivory Coast, Guinea, all the places they were going to Monreal because they believe Monreal is where things would be. Nibania also believe Monreal, but when you stay in your country and you got voting power, good thing will leave from Monreal and come to you because people want election, people want to win election. And if you can provide that number, they will bring the development to you. And this is what we have. Go look at Ganta. Go look at Ganta. Go look at other places. Look at Sunny Creek there. Look at Secretary there. Eh? Look at Tabata. Because they have the numbers. In politics, number is the winning game, nothing else. You're not there to come dribble somebody to school. That's what politics about. So nobody have always from 2000, 2003, they understood we have to have legitimate numbers. Don't worry about it. I'm not even talking about the speech that said. That's not my business. That's the president's business. But let me go on. So Nimbadians, I want to take my hat out again to you guys tonight to say thank you. It was a nasty election, called names and what have you, accuse each other. But that's what politics is about. Politics, there's no kumbaya in it. You have to have a thick skin to be to be a politician. It's nothing. This is what they say. It's nothing personal. It's all business. After the election, we go back to where we were. But the most important thing, they might have the numbers, and the numbers are there to show. So again, we'll follow you, because what you're doing, it's not anything bad. It's something. Any county that want to be well developed, you have to follow Nima footsteps. You can't have all your cities in Monreal and expect to be developed. Samson can come to total set and bring an engineering firm over there. You're not gonna get nothing until we have the numbers and the politicians start respecting us. Because if the fool around, we're not gonna give it. Look what Nima did to Georgia. Look what Nima did to Georgia. And when there was a saying, yeah, when President Baga, he said, I will dance with the devil that will make me be president. But Nima, and I don't mean to call Nimadians devil, but that was his statement. But that's Nima. And once he had the support of Nimadian, victory was assured. There's no way else. If you have the support of Nima County, most likely you will win. So again, Nima, thank you. Thank you. We appreciate it. And Koka, congratulations. What are you bringing on the table, my son? What are you bringing on the table? Now, let me think twice. Let me say this. Let me say this. So Koka might make me to eat crow on the show. I like to see that. Maybe Koka get to the Senate and his being in the Senate, that might bring the best out of him, and maybe he will produce. But as far as I'm concerned, I see nothing Koka bringing on the table. Koka won the election, as I said, and I was saying it. The guru is just a guru. You can't make it with me. You're on the platform here every day. I'm the political guru. Immediately when they said to bring, I said, Coca Fini winning the election. That was almost 2-3 months ago. I said, Coca Fini winning the election. I tell you that. Coca won the election months ago. The other one part, what Jeremiah couldn't show up. What President Baga show, Coca was going to win. There's no two-way street about it. Coca, I'm the guru, political guru, because I do know these things. I know where I'm talking when I'm saying things, where my numbers are coming from. I say, what's the data? La data will eat, says it go. La data will eat. But my man, don't worry about it. What kind of man they are tonight? I will soon pack you in the garage. You continue to ride plenty like that. I will soon pack you in the garage. But anyhow, so Nima, thank you, thank you, thank you. I just know Coca most likely. Uh, but the good thing is this. You see what? Let me say this again. One of the things that I know about Nibalians, okay, they are not people that depend on one person because of their mindset to do things. Let me just tell you a little bit about that. So when I was little, 4, 5, 6 years, so I grew up in Bapa. I told you, digging dama with my father. But one of the things that the kids that I used to go from Bapa to Grassfield for school, Grassfield, which is Cara High and stuff like that. When we walk, one of the things they say, when I grow up, I will do things for myself. We had this one man guy. They call say, I think his name was say yo or say jobo or something like that. But my goodness, as old as I am, I still have this guy in my mind still. When that young man dressed in the city of Bapa, when that young man dressed and put that red beret, that your CDC, that beret that say your them brother thing way back before CDC. Most of CDC was even more. When I man put a beret on his hair and start walking the street of Bapa. Papa, you go across the train track, you go into Yegepa. When you go straight up the other side, you go to Bonta Farm. When you go on the right hand side, you go into how they call it, grass feed. When he start coming from and they used to have their market and the cinema hall right there in the middle of the town. So I know Baba well those days. I don't know what it looks like now. But anyhow, Nimbadians, they're not counting your coca to bring home the begging. The begging gonna. That's what you see. That's the thing about them that I like. You can be senator and then go sleep in the Senate. You can be representative and don't do nothing. They don't care. The numbers, the voting numbers will bring the begging home. That's what they did. That representative from Nimakana bringing making Nimakana develop. I beg you, man. They able. Coca then they able to bring any development in Nimakana. It's the numbers. The politician, one of their biggest fear, once you have the number on your side, they're scared of you. And that's exactly what Nima has done. Nima has a number, and when they say we want development or else, development coming. And you didn't grant you there. Since 2005, they always giving their vote to President we are and nothing coming in. Everything going to President we are, nothing coming in. I big man. Nima calling not like that. They look at you and say, "Oh, we gave you for you." Go, okay, we'll see what we'll do to you. That's Nima. That's Nima, my brothers and sisters. That is, they don't fool around. They don't fool around. They don't fool around. And that's why if you look at the history of Liberian politics, specifically since the birth of the how do you call it? The birth of the progressive, Nima is a breeding ground. Nima was, and it's still, I'm not too sure about now. But folks, let me take 2 seconds here. Just a minute. So let me go on. Thank you for watching tonight, folks. Please share this video. Share this video. And any person that's going to come and join me tonight, when I say hold on, I mean hold on. There's not two-way street about it. Yes, the thing here, the liberal can speak. For 5 hours, I will stay here and speak. I don't know English. I can speak the crown language. What you say? You say because you know English, that when I start speaking the no English, you able to stop me? You know what? So let's go on. So that is it for NIMA election. On a very serious note, we want to congratulate the people of NIMA County for actually displaying maturity. NIMA, what you have done, you didn't just do it for Liberia. I mean, you didn't do it for NIMA, but you did it for the entire country. Because the investor look at all kinds of positive results, and they want to invest in a place. Yeah, Clarence, you're right. Investor, they come in, it's okay. The people been having election, yeah, and no. But look at the one they just had. Nima, you have put us on the map again. Any investor that will come, and the first thing when investor come, the first thing they'll say, well, we look at it. I want to see Nima. They're not going to come to Grand Ida right away. They say, I want to see Nima. That's how it is. Numbers. I want to thank you guys. Continue to hold your numbers. I hope our brothers, your brothers and sisters from the Southeast will learn from you. And also, they all sit down in Montreal, no job. No job. No job. What they do in Montreal, nobody knows. In the meantime, though, their parent, grandparent, they got farm land. Use some of them, 150 to 150 acres. I do. I got 150 acres, and I'm doing something on it. But other people have it. But they stay in Montreal. Then they want me. You got 150 acres. I know your pa get 150 acres. Then you want me to send you $25. I said, I got money. I gotta buy myself a juice. My granddaughter and myself fighting over juice. I don't got money to get you money right now. But the Malians, when you even when you're driving on the highways in Nimaka, you see you see rubber farm along the highway. There's I don't know. Don't get me wrong. When you come from Ganta, there's a bridge that goes over there. You go into Grand Union because I know the place well. You go over because when I was little, I used to enjoy that place when the car going. I say, yee, stuff like. But anyway, when you come from Ganta, you go over the bridge, and under the bridge, the train track go. I don't know the name of that place, but they got one huge rubber farm in that place. All along, Nima on the highway, they got rubber farm. They got plenty. In fact, those days when you're coming from the interior, as soon as you get in Nima County, you start buying plenties. You start buying plenty, and not only buying plenty bananas, you buy them. So they know what to do with their land. Now some of us we live in Montreal where it rain, we can't go anywhere. But what they in Montreal, nothing they doing there. No job, but they in Montreal because they love to be in Montreal. Hey man, I beg you, man, I don't want to waste my time here tonight. But let me go on. Let me go on. Thank you, son. Appreciate it. That's my social security son. You see what I'm talking about? He just brought me water. But anyway, that's the last one. That one when he leave, I'm free. No more baby business. That why my granddaughter and myself can be fighting over juice. God, I look at her, I say, anyone that I'm baby, that friend. She must say the same age. We'll fight over the juice. The liberal is here again tonight. So, folks, again, Samson told Labroparito, that's the side of the Nima election that I want to talk about tonight. Let me now go on and talk about the um, Supreme Court. Supreme Court rule, and the government said they're going to work with people that have quorum. At first, When I heard it, when I read it, I was so angry with the president, to be honest with you. I was so angry with the president. Why would you make that kind of statement? But then when you go back and read it again, and you take a second look at it, then you start thinking, don't worry about it. So the president said that he's going to work with the people that have the quorum. I thought that was something that I could not stomach. So the president of the Republic of Liberia, first of all, that's an exec. They are the executive. Okay, the election they said they don't want to meddle. They said oh the president should not meddle. Then how the heck the president go and get and take humanity all of the goods thing from what's his name Kofa. And folks, if you read Kofa's statement, you will know that Kofa meant well. He's not there for confusion. But these guys, they can't take it. Let me read this here. Let me read this here, folks. Let me read this here. In a major breach, this is coming from Front Page Africa. Let me read this. In a major breach with the Supreme Court of Liberia, President Joseph Boakai had in an address to the nation late Thursday broke rank with the Supreme Court. You see how Front Page Africa is taking that? Broke rank with the Supreme Court and pledged to continue working with the breakaway bloc of the lower house of the national legislation. Okay. While reaffirming his commitment to constitutional democracy and functional government, the president said his administration will continue to work with what he described as a quorum, functioning quorum, to ensure the effective running of the government. Fellow Liberian, he says, President Bakana, our Constitution and the Supreme Court have defined what constitutes a quorum for the conduct of business in the legislation. We intend to vigorously uphold this vital principle of our constitutional democracy. We will continue to work with the quorum that will ensure the full functioning of our government. The president said, responding to the Supreme Court of Liberia regarding the legislature impasse in the House of Representatives, President Bakai acknowledged the court ruling on the Bill of Information, which declared the action of the current majority bloc in the House as unconstitutional. In this Wednesday ruling, the court called for the House to operate strictly in adherence with the law and constitutional procedure. The president's statement has sparked renewal debate. The reason why I was upset, I was a little bit surprised because I know this. I don't know President Baka. He doesn't even know who I am. I just love him. I like him because I believe he's not here to bluff. I believe that him being the president, that indeed the rule of law and everything else that is good for Liberia will be coming to play because he's not here for bluffing ball. He's not nyakam ball. And that was one of my main reasons of supporting President Baka. But let me say a little bit on that. Then I'll go on the other issue. So when President Baka was running campaign, he was telling us that under his administration, the rule of law was going to be number one. And the rule, what is for me, what is the epic of the rule of law? Who what if you're gonna say houses, which one of the house that is in control of the rule of law? the Supreme Court and the judiciary. They tell you what rule and what law in a country that is legitimate for you to follow as a citizen based on the Constitution. And these people came out publicly. They told us what is the legal rule that we Liberians need to adhere to with respect to the House impasse. And the president, for him to come back, I thought the president would have used this opportunity to redeem himself. To be honest with you, I thought he would have used this opportunity to redeem himself. In that, when he made that decision to strip Franti Kofa of all of the immunities that he was enjoying as speaker, I thought that was wrong. Because you said the legislation as a separate branch of government are fighting, and the people who say they are not, you witness it was the election of Francis Kufa was broadcast live, and there was no confusion. But Richard Cole came to office because there was confusion in the House of Representatives. In fact, when the confusion started, you were oversee with this representative, with this speaker that was duly elected. And that's why you took it. He's not a member of your party. You took him with you. You accept him as a legitimate speaker. But because Richard Coon and his people decided to circumvent the rule, and you should have known better. President Walker, this is, you're not stranger. You are the father of the nation. You know these things. You know the law. I saw some documentation today as I was going through. When that thing happened to Edwin Snow, President Walker was not much in favor of that. President Walker was not quite in favor of that, but he didn't have the voice at the time because the president, Madam Salih, wanted it. But here he is now, under his leadership, and he allowed these snotty nose, these children, small children, to guide him in this process to make this kind of elementary mistake, I would say. Something that President Walker, on his good day, will not make. On his good day, will not make that. If President Walker was not in the bubble, was not going to provide that kind of situation where he went out and take things from Frantikova and give it to the president who was not elected, duly elected by the member of the House of Representatives. So what was their excuse for Frantikova, the minority black, not be present when Cohen was elected? Did they say they esteem or they were absent? What was the excuse? Because the other member didn't vote. So you say, oh, okay, the other man vote because yes, he said he don't want to be part of the the process, or the president don't want to be because he was absent. Those are the kinds of things the people who have President Baka in a bubble refuse to pass that information on to him. And because of that, President Baka followed that and made an unforced error, as I would say. So I tell this time around, the Supreme Court have given, I believe, all last night, everything that I was saying, and that's why I was very quiet on Mr. Social last night, because I felt within myself that the Supreme Court has given President Baka a cover where President Baka was going to use the ruling of the Supreme Court and bring these people to book to say, this is not what we're going to do. You want to remove this man? Let's follow the Supreme Court ruling. I thought this is the time President Baka was going to use that opportunity to say, I want him out myself because I want somebody from my party to be the speaker, but not that way. Let's go and move in. There's two things here that wrong with from when I talk to people. The fear with the majority of black is that if they go back to Flanty Kova will say, okay, I'm not resigning, and he will drag the process because he's the speaker. He allow what goes on the floor and what doesn't go on the floor. Can you imagine Flanty Kova doing that in this kinds of time? He would have exposed himself so badly that his political career would have been over. If Frantikova, if they come back to him and he doesn't put that bill, that whatever it is on the floor to be discussed, Frantikova would have exposed himself and he would have been disgraced. And Frantikova knew that. He's not a dumb person. Frantikova does the bars exam in Liberia. So he is a very smart young man. I know that. But that was their fear. And it's wrong. So I thought President Baka was going to use that opportunity to bring the crisis under control. Because if he had done that, Richard Cohen, this whole thing I've been saying, Richard Cohen was the one who disgraced himself. If this thing turned the way it's turning, and Richard Cohen was truly disgraced, he had himself to be blamed. Me, Samson told, eh? We know nothing. I go to election with somebody. The person beat me. Then I come through the process, through the back door. You see the face here, there's somebody that will come through the back door. For what? For what? I tell you that. Let me give you one side by side by side by. So in total, this is the face I'm telling you about now. Let me tell you a little bit behind it. So in total, I think I told you this story before. There's a girl. Oh, I was in love with that guy. I like her. So I wrote her a love letter. And I gave it to my cousin to deliver the letter in the evening. And when I say letter, that around the kind of letter that I can write now, that those letters, those days, where somebody loves, somebody left fish, love water, somebody left tobacco love in the mouth, that kind of love. Yeah. So I wrote it about. So he took it to the girl, but instead, because when we came from the farm, my cousin, when we came from the farm, the water behind the town, the quite tar, and he hit one of the fish, but the tar fish is just like any other human being in total. You can't touch it. You can't do anything with it except for stranger. But those of us that from total, you can't touch it. So I said I was going to tell people. So he got angry and he decided to take my letter to the principal of the school. And the liberal will call on stage to read his letter of love letter in the auditorium. You got almost 100, some 200 students. I said, I'm going to come read my letter. First thing I thought to myself, no, I'll not read the left for it. Let them beat me. When they beat me, I said, but I'll not read my letter. What kind of thing I put in that letter? But then I thought again, I said, what? This is the time for me to shine. And I read the letter. What did they do? Nothing. What are they going to do to me? Nothing. I read my letter. Then the principal said, they're going to suspend me. For what? Because I let somebody. What you suspend me for? It happened to be that same week, the Honorable Sarah Cooper, I think it was the superintendent of Grand Union County School, he came to Tota and he heard about it. And the people were planning to suspend me. He said, no, you can't be suspended. Like just, that outside schools issue that they face, that I something too with this failure. I'm on leave and come in the back door. I told you, Rachel Kuhn, what you did was wrong. If you wanted that position, it's just logical. You were next in line because you went foot to foot with Frantikova and he defeated you. Okay. But if anything was to happen to Frantikova, God forbid, that you will be the next person people will look for legally. But you used it in your and I can't be speaker. Look how much disgrace you, even if you keep that speakership, look how much disgrace this speakership is doing to you and your family. Your name all over the place. So let me go back to this. So I thought President Baka would have used this opportunity to say, Rachel Kuhn, the Supreme Court has spoken. Let's move this man legally, and then we can have the people to vote for you. They don't want to do that. So President Bakai, once again, were fooled, were lied to by people. You'll find out later on. You'll find out President Bakai was lied to because his decision to continue to support this group is unacceptable. How are you going to call Liberian to come and build Liberia and love Liberia with this kind of illegal behavior that President Baka and his people are supporting? You have member of your cabinet immediately after the decision was criticizing the Supreme Court of the Republic. In other words, undermining the rule of law of the Republic of Liberia. And you want people, you're asking Liberia to come home, to build Liberia, love Liberia. And yet you tell us today. But like I said, I read it the first time, I was angry. When I read it the second time, I thought to myself, okay, something in here. I'm going to give the president latitude. I'm going to give him leeway. Because I know this president have a good thing for Liberia. So he's not going to go and just make it and stick with it. Because Liberians all over the world disagree and very surprised with that kind of statement. Because the Supreme Court is like one of those area in democracy that is holding us together. And we have to respect it. Okay? We have to respect that. There's no way else we can let it go. So I'm gonna give the president some leeway, and I'm hoping that from now. But here's the thing also. What happens if Flantikova don't get the majority? You know, because what I do know from talking to insider, Flantikova he doesn't have the intent to be speaker again. He don't want to be speaker again. But he wants to make sure what he keeps saying to friends and family, tomorrow, it's not about me. Tomorrow. We can't have people to do Tyler, Snow, then now call Flantikova. When Flantikova is a lawyer, trained lawyer in Liberia, to be pushed out like that, illegally, violating the constitution that he swore to uphold, it will be detrimental to Flantikova, not just his political career, but in his spirit as Liberian. As a Liberian, that particular decision, if he had just let it go and resign, he would have been broken his spirit. And so he refused. And the Supreme Court have done that, said that. Now, President Baka also going to have to be very careful with this thing here. You just send Kafwa over there to World Bank to go beg for 400 some more $1 million. They accept it to support your agenda. And then you're going to come in. I hope that's not the case. You're going to come in after the people get you all that money. Then you're going to come in and support this illegal behavior. You think the people that the World Bank, they themselves, they don't know? They can see. I'm sorry, I'm going to play this interview I had with a German, how do you call it? One of their guy who was there to support the Liberian government in all of their project from German people. I had an interview with him, and I talk about similar stuff like this. But this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. So you go into the World Bank and this kinds of stuff, the news going. The last time when President Baka suspended people for not following code of conduct. The entire world were clapping for President Waka. But here we are today. So I'm going to give the president a little latitude here. I know I don't know him. I'm not like people like Jerry there who knows him well. I don't know him. He doesn't know me. I just love his policy. I just love the way he talks about Liberia. I just love the fact that he's an older gentleman who has seen all, and that because of his experience, that Liberia indeed will be redeemed. But what happened? Because he brought people on board who do not have the same interest. His interest and these people's interest diverge. They are not together. They are not together. And because of that, they continue to behave the way they're behaving. But that's what we have. Now let me go on. So in this process, okay, former President George Weah, as I stated from the beginning, former President George Weah, Liberia, I told you guys, Liberia we're gonna get there. Former President George Weah that we all beat on, say he don't know anything, he not this, he not that, but he came up to show that he is involved and that he has evolved. And in the same process, he's still evolving anyhow. But he made a statement which put him in a statement like more presidential than ever. And I was so proud when I read that. I was so proud. He did not come across as being vindictive. He did not come across as being condescending. From my perspective, he came across as a genuine Liberian who was concerned with the rule of law. Let me find that and I will read it to you. Very interesting statement. Very interesting statement. Okay. Very interesting statement. Okay. Let me get to that. Let me get to that. Former President George Manuel Weah has called on President Joseph Boakai to uphold the rule of law in the wake of the decisive Supreme Court ruling affirming the legitimacy of House Speaker J. Franti Kofa. In a statement released Wednesday after the court verdict, we have described the decision as a landmark opinion. And then people, y'all watch that. Y'all go on the feed. People are gonna start writing all kind of junk now. I'm not here to support CDC, and they must say we don't make. Well, they must say we yell at oil and water. But when the truth is there, you got to say it. You can't just keep on the truth under the rug because you and CDC you don't make it. CDC, as far as I'm concerned, they don't put it up. I will not say that anymore. So I will not say it. I will not say it. But CDC, they must say we just like water, oil and water. But when the truth is there, you have to be truthful. So let me read that. Okay. The Supreme Court ruled Wednesday that the action of self-declared majority bloc within the House of Representatives, which sought to unseat Kofa, were unconstitutional and illegal. Supreme Court. The ruling is not merely a legal decision; it is a crucial affirmation of the rule of law and the Constitution order that underpin our democracy. We have said, let me read that again. I was chopping it. I was speaking total English because it's sweet. It's sweet that we are speaking. Okay, that we are speaking. He said, the ruling is not merely a legal decision, it is a crucial affirmation of the rule of law and the constitutional order that underpin our democracy, we have said. He warned that any attempt to undermine or ignore the ruling plunged Liberia into a constitutional crisis, threatening the country's fragile peace and democracy. He's entitled to that. This is not even privilege. The statement he made about the peace, he's entitled to it. He's entitled to it. He has the right to that. Not only as a Liberian citizen, but as former president for 6 years, who kept the peace. For 6 years, who kept the peace. He is entitled to tell President Bwakai that I kept peace for 6 years. It's a lot of work that was involved. I did my best to keep peace for 6 years. I might have done some, one thing here and there, which Samson told them would beat me on. But this is a piece of the fragile country. I done my best. You cannot and you must not honor your leadership that they think should slide by. Those are my words. But that's what President Weah was saying. Okay. We have issued a direct appeal, not direct challenge. Yeah. He did not challenge the president. He appealed to the president. He appealed to President Bakai. Let me read that. We are issued a direct appeal to President Bakai and his administration, urging them to comply with the court ruling, ignoring or rejecting the authority of our judiciary, undermine the sovereignty of our constitution, and endanger our collective peace with their consequence, with dire consequence. He can't continue. So with President, we are speaking like that. Okay. When he was there 6 years. When was it? When was the last time you saw President? We had something. I read something like that from President. We had. What do people want to do? Yeah, well, this that boyfriend and girlfriend is it. But this one, that's what I said. President, I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. Well, my brother and then when they took over 1980, okay, my brother was just like sixth grade student. He couldn't even read most of the newspaper that were being talking about. They were talking about there. He couldn't read most of them. Okay, he was in the army, going to night school, so he couldn't even read most of the stuff. And I left, 1980, July. I left. I went back, August of 1981. 1 year later, that young man could not only read now, but he could listen to Malcolm X and Dr. Martin Luther King's speeches. And sometimes when they're speaking, when they're giving the speech on the album, on the record, he will follow it and give the same speech. That's so education, learning process. Once you allow yourself to learn, you will go through. This young man, when I left, he couldn't even read good sentences. But when I came back 1 year later, when he speak about Manson Toon, when he speak about Juliet Nyerere, when he talk about a Ghana president, it was unbelievable. I was looking, I said, who is this? Who is this? So when somebody is willing to learn and put their mind to it, forget it. Listen to President Weah. Everyone he started, you can't read, listen to it now. We are issue, okay, he did that. The former president also called on Liberian international partner to support the enforcement of the court decision. Now, here's the interesting thing here I want you to look. The president, now, the boss calling me, folks. Please give me a minute. Your thing is stupid. Your thing is stupid. The boss, person who own the house where I'm sitting down right now doing this show, the person called me, I was saying, hold on. I'm talking to Labron people. I'm talking about Labron, Baga, Joseph Baga, job we had in business. Then when they put through me out, y'all will help me to move my clothes from the street. Man, that's stupid. Not stupid. So I answered the boss. Okay, let's go on. Okay. So let me go back to President Weah. Let me go back to President Weah. So at this time now, he's now, this is what he's doing. He's asking the, yeah, this is very interesting. One of those of you that are jealous, that just have their hair in the sand, will not listen to this. What President Weah is doing here? What President Weah is doing here? He could come and say, President Joseph Boakai, we're giving you two days. If you don't do this, I will put people in the street. If you don't reverse that thing and support the Supreme Court, I will put people in the street. He's not doing that. He's saying, international community, I want you to open your eyes. This is what we're doing in this country. What he has done, not only to hold President Baka feet to the fire, but that those who are giving President Baka and his administration money, he's also holding their feet into the fire to make sure Liberia benefit effectively. President Weah is changing. You're going to sit down there and say, you might not come by. You're going to continue. President Weah is changing. His mindset in how to deal with Liberia is changing. I've been dealing with President Weah for a very long. Y'all know me. I'm not somebody who support President Weah. Y'all know me. But he's changing, and we have to talk about it. Okay, you're gonna sit down there and say, "Oh, the men not coming by, man. Where you coming by air?" Okay. Rescue 1, Rescue 2. Rescue 1 is calling Rescue 2. Join me if you can. But let me go on. We are also stressed the importance. Okay, so Bakai, the former president also called on Liberia international partner to support the enforcement of the court decision. Now, you say, but how World Bank can support Liberia Supreme Court enforcement ruling to enforce it? They just get Liberia $400 and some more $1 million. There could be some condition. There could be some condition to say we'll get you the money, but you have to make sure X, Y, and Z can carry out. Or else we don't get you the money because they don't owe you. They're helping you. So President, we are being a former president, saying to the international community, and he has a voice. His platform, his voice is bigger than any other person. So if they want to, he's also informing the investors. These are the conditions we have. So what President Weah is doing, putting Liberia on the map, because the President Waka is able to resolve this. That will, now they say, look at the former president, the opposition even asked, and he did. The liberal, the political guru is on it again tonight. Yeah, Piggy, something to you, something else. But let me go on. Okay, so they said the former president also called on Liberia international partner to support the enforcement of the court decision and encourage the Bakai government to respect the rule of law. We are also stressed the importance of unity. Aha! I told you, it was not. This thing is not condescending. This thing is not. It's not combative. President Weah he's not coming here swinging. If you think that Jefferson Coach will tolerate this, yeah? Without something else be coming out? No. Okay. Okay. So we are also stressed the importance of unity and constitutional integrity. Our democracy is founded on justice. That's it, man. No, not you. Listen now. Our democracy is founded on justice, legality, and the rule of law. It is our shared duty to defend these principles with unwavering resolve, he says. I'll leave it as that. I'll leave it as that. I'll leave it as that. So, President, we are, and this has nothing to do with clearing back on them. They tonight, on that bamboo are going to devour cola. They know it, so they're not coming tonight. They're not coming because I'm not here to come support wrong thing. They're not coming. But anyhow, rescue two, rescue two, rescue one is calling. You will not come tonight either. But anyway, I can talk. I'm enjoying myself. So let me be ridiculous now. Watch your watch now, my people. Your wife breakable start running away from me, calling me name. Your son could be calling me name. The whole nyama nyama, the whole saka that we are bling. All this thing here would have been averted. The judge we had just come to presidency and be transparent and be sincere and make sure corrupt behavior does not permeate his government as much as it did. A president we are allowed transparency to be his hallmark. We won't be how you gonna have 43-year-old, 44-year-old experience, 80 some odd year old to beat you? Because Liberian people are just tired with him. Let me say this again. President Waka did not beat President Weah. President Weah beat himself. The people were not voting against for President Waka. They were voting against President Weah. That's a two different. As a political guru, I know that. Yeah, you know that Bloku gets stay one place. You know that. What role you think I'm going to consider? You think I'm going to say, "I got 360, I turn again." That's the liberal. I don't sit on one place. President, we are with all these kinds of beautiful things that he wrote. I blame him. I blame him. If you were to put people around him that would allow transparency to take over and not have what's his name, Monuba Molu liquor talk conversation, we won't have been in this place here. Because remember now, President, we had defeated President Bakai when Unity Party was still they had control, but of course, Madam Sally was against him anyway. But President, we had defeated President Bakai hugely, bigly. So you cannot come here and tell me that President Weah is not popular. But Liberian people were just tired. The same way they're getting tired of President Waka and his people right now. They were just tired. For 6 years straight. The president take money again. Okay. They coming to do map up. Okay. Samuel Twice. Oh, we're gonna we have surplus. Okay. All those kinds of yama yama thing. It was just ridiculous. Liberians were just tired. So, President, we have this thing here, the beautiful thing that you wrote. I respect you and I appreciate it. But again, that you're the one we're gonna blame. They say so Southeastern you were employing. They're not Southeastern you were employing. They're not Southeastern you were employing. It is the people that were around President Weah. He never has reshuffle. He just kept the same people over and over for 6 years. They are not the only like President Waka is doing the same thing here too. They are not the only Liberians that are qualified for these positions. And I believe that if President Waka what kind of business is it? I talk here, I don't get no sound. Come back home where? Come back home. Man, please, that you and myself stay in one same party. That you and myself will share one same party, breakable, are crazy. You see me drinking water in my nose for me to come be CDC, man. Big here, man. Your idea, my idea, they're not the same. You don't know anything about development business. All you know about those steal. I can't join you. I don't steal. So you people want to say, we're not together. That's why I went with Bakai. Okay. But anyway, I walked right into that one. But people will come, oh, I look up. No, 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 please. Let me go. Let me go. So, President, we are the issue for me here, okay? The issue for me here is what is happening. Beautiful way to hold. Okay, Mr. Gate, thank you very much. Thank you very much. This is what we do here. But don't count on me being truthful because I'm not gonna be ridiculous. So is this your first time? Yeah, something I can be very, very ridiculous on my show. But thank you for joining us, my brother. We appreciate it, Salma Gate. Well, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. So let me go on. So, President, you're writing here, holding the president feet to the fire and holding the international partner feet to the fire is very good. But you brought it on us that you don't want. That you don't want. You during the war, when people were killing each other, you used to come to Liberia, and the day you arrive, people's children will survive and live. You care for Liberia. When you came, you took the national team and spent your own millions of dollars to do things for Liberia because you want. What make you think you're $1 million you spend on the people? You got place to put your money. All right. I call Jerry he can't now. Okay, but he's late anyway. Let me bring it on. Jerry, good evening. I was truly enjoying myself tonight. But now that you join me, let me finish my tie. Okay. So, President, you spend millions of dollars to support Liberian national team. But what make you think you're $1 million? You got nothing to do with it. You got family member, but you decide to do things for Liberia. Then the Liberian people say, okay, you did this for us. Hey, you're the country. Then you brought all the cronies, all the crooks to join you. And they start stealing here and there. Yeah, you can't control it. And the Liberian people that you upon, that Liberian people is about to fire, you upon Georgia, that you don't want Liberian people is about to fire? No. You were just tired picking. But I hope this newfound idea of you holding people's feet to the fire now, I hope you continue with it. Because I really appreciate what you did here. You were not condescending. You are not combative. You are not threatening. You didn't say anything to endanger the lives of the people of Liberia. You told President Baka, and you have the right to that because you, for 6 years under your leadership, the peace were kept. Nobody go to war. And you're trying to remind them, I did it. That means I have the experience how to keep the peace. I want you to keep the peace. So you have the right. In fact, not the right. Yeah, you have the right, privilege to talk the way you talk. But I still blame you. I blame you. Fatima, his name is Terry Collins. Okay. So let me go on. Thank you, Jerry, for joining me. I will deal with President Bakai's situation. It's very sad for me because this is a man who told us under his administration the rule and law was going to be paramount. Under his administration, that nobody will go unpunished who will violate the Constitution. And he had people violating the code of conduct, and he still called them minister. I found that hard to believe. Then the situation with the Supreme Court, as I said, then I'll bring Jerry in. I thought he would have used the opportunity to use the cover of the Supreme Court to redeem himself, because I thought that by taking those things away from Franklin Kofa was an false error. Okay, and I thought by the Supreme Court giving that ruling, he would have used that to say, let's go back. Even if you don't want Franklin Kofa, let's go remove him. They have the means, they got money, they can remove him, but do it right. Let me bring in Jerry. Jerry, thank you for joining me. What's on your mind, sir?
Well, let me end up where you started with. Since you're talking Tabata, that's fine. You're entitled to your Tabata. But when it comes to His Excellency Joseph Newman Boakai, hopefully you listen to the press conference by the Minister of Information. You listen to Mr. Wallet, who is the
Let's talk about the water coming from the front
yeah,
door.
I
Are you
come
saying the water, the frog living in what the frog living in the water? Then you say the water coming from the other side will be the water that coming from the frog more cool than the water coming from the other place. So that's why.
Mr. Bochier. You see, when you're making the case or when you're doing presentation, you got to lay the foundation. You got to make connection, reference where things are, how things are improved. And, when you go preach to someone, you can just say, this is it. But I just want to remind the Liberian people, Mr. Baka made a good decision today. Democracy is working in Liberia. You might not like it, but like I always say on the platform, and I will say it again, what is going on in Liberia is a lesson learned. And hopefully, when the dust is settled in the near future, with those who will read history or those who will read papers, one thing my grandpa told me, he said, book can lie, but the person who read a book can lie. And I was like, what he talking about? This, I think, will happen in the future. But today, Mr. Baka spoke. He said he will make business with the majority bloc. Okay?
No, he didn't say majority black. He didn't say majority black. He said with quorum.
He said the quorum. The quorum. Yeah, so who had the quorum? Who had the quorum?
But it could change tomorrow. It could change day after. It could go anywhere. He didn't. He was not that.
Okay, but let's
very slick too. He's very slick. He didn't say majority black. He said I will work with quorum.
The quorum, the quorum. He will work with the quorum. So who is the present quorum right now? There's the person who is in charge. The quorum is in charge right now until the other. Look, what are happening in Liberia? It's just that we are. You see, one thing about Liberian people, we don't read and we don't do research, so we just talk. We just diagnose the case, but we can't find solution to the problem. The majority black and minority black is just coming to Liberia. Around the world, they always have opposition. Look at the great United States humans are living. They got a Republican and they got a Democrat. They always switch. Right now, the Republican has in power. They control what? The three branches of government right now.
Jerry, I will not let your steamroll me tonight. This is not the scene. It is not the scene as
no. Can you wait, please? Can you wait a minute? Can you wait a minute? Can you wait a minute? We got a majority here. We got Donald Trump is a Republican. He controlled the White House, the Senate, and the lower house. The lower house. So anything Donald Trump wants right now, he can get it. It's just coming to Liberia that we had a majority black, the minority black in the country. And this is important because as it is right now, from my perspective, it's just a way it went about doing it. That's what I have a problem with. Okay? It's the execution. But if we are going through the democracy process, through process of law, and we say now we got a majority, we got a minority, which of course is always happening. Even if they are voted today to remove Konati, it's a majority. Then we got a minority. It's always been exist. It's just the execution. But here's the president. Now the president has stood his ground and say, I will work with the quorum. Now we know what the president stands. We know his position. He said he will work with him. the quorum.
Quorum.
Yeah. So now we know his position. But in this case, all the president have to do now is, as a president, to say, look, call the three people. You are three. Call the three people. Call Konati, call what is it? Ko and the president. Three of us. Kun, I'm say Kun. Call three of them, two of them, and you sit down with them and three of us right now. Let's sort it out. Three of us right now. Let's decide. It's the future of the nation.
Okay. So this is what
No
Flanty would tell. Okay,
nothing.
this is what Flanty.
No.
This is what Flanty would say. This, and I want you to answer that. This is what Flanty would say.
Hold on, sir. Hold on, sir. Let me learn. Then you can do that. Three of us right now. We're on the platform right now. Let three of us say that. No staff, nothing. Let's work it out. Colin, let me hear you. Tool, let me hear you. Jerry, let me hear you. Three of us right now. We are the people the country is looking up to us. Let me give you an example. Bill Clinton did it when he brought Yasser Arafat and Ahmed from Israel. They were there for 72 hours, 3 days before they came in the bush and said, "Yeah, we found a peace deal." When PLO was there, this thing that happened for all to do research to make a reference and say, yes, this is what happened in the past, and this is how they come up, how they arrive for this thing. So people who are around the president, you have to do a research and give analysis to the president. That's what makes you an advisor to the president. This is what when the past government did, and this is what the president government did, and this is why it's going to work. So the president can do it. Call the three people, call two of them. Say, look, we're sitting down here today. For the sake of Liberia, we're going to work it out until we can go to the Liberian. Three of us will face the country, and this is what's going to happen. Show leadership within that country. And say, Mr. President, the three gentlemen, Kun, and Mr. Kolanti, we all going to sit down here. Three are going to sit down here, and we'll find solution to the problem. Let's do it. Bring them together. Don't bring nobody else. Only three of us. We'll work it out.
Thank you. I like that. Except the advisors that have lied to the president would not even allow those kinds of conversations to take place anyway, because they know when they do that, they will be exposed, and they're not going to do it. Because if they allow President Waka to bring the two people together and try to talk, he would talk sense to them, and they don't want that. So let me go to Terry. Terry, Rescue 1 say thank you for joining tonight. We appreciate it. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, co-host, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I'm fired up tonight. Because last night was so tough.
I can see your spirit, the woman or JMB resuscitate your spirit. But yeah, Libra, but you see, this is the reason why, I've been saying the option for Fonati is to resign. Because you cannot fight government. He's supposed to know that. He been in the house, he have a lot of experience. And when I say this, people think I'm against the man. The man have suffered too much. And your suffering that you suffer is not even equivalent to the precedent that you claim you want to set. Because that precedent you're trying to set, another group coming tomorrow in Georgia government or whoever will win election tomorrow, they might do worse than what you're trying to do. Liberia is not a country. How many people say, oh, they set precedent. Didn't the Supreme Court set precedent for Edwin Snow? How far I carry on? Didn't the Supreme Court set precedent for Alex Tyler?
It's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same, Terry. But go ahead.
The only difference is that they did not resign. That's the only difference. But what is happening to Fonati, to Honorable Kofa, is the same thing that happened to Tyler and Edwin Snow. Edwin Snow, they were not brave enough to withstand the disgrace that Honorable Kofa is standing now. That's the only difference.
Okay.
because he is enduring the disgrace, and he said he's not going to resign. And the another difference is the ruling that the Supreme Court gave. The ruling that the Supreme Court gave is much more stronger than the ruling that was given to Edwin Snow.
Yeah.
But there is no much difference because the defiance continue to reign. The leadership in power continue to support the people who are defying the law.
Okay. But yes, thank you. I get where you're going. It's been your argument all along. You're not supporting the minority bloc, but that knowing who Liberians are, you know what Liberian people can do and how they behave, and so you're saying, you've been saying this here from day one. Flandi Kofa, instead of going through all of the pain and what have you, get out of there. If the people mess it up, that's their problem. But here's the thing here, Terry. Here's the thing here, and those of us that are close to Flandi Kofa, I don't talk to him. I've not talked to him since the crisis started because I wanted to stay out of it. I want him to do what all I say. I support him from time to time. I would text him, say, we're still praying for you. He said, thank you, big brother. And that's about the kinds of conversation we have. Now, let me just say this here. Francis Kufa is a lawyer. And in order to do these things here, to be a lawyer, you go through a lot. To be a lawyer, medical doctor, engineers, and there's lots of things you go through to be to where you want to be. There are certain principles in these areas of study that becomes part of you. Okay? Now, that becomes part of you. Moses, what kind of that EJ you are EJ Raw? Because we can't even see you. What kind of light? What kind of disco light you got on? I can see you.
You see, I hate to miss the show. I'm out just leaving an event, and I really want to pitch my own thing in.
Okay. Then just call in. Call in. We'll put you on.
I don't have the number to call it, so I don't know how to call it.
Let me put a number. Watch the show. I'll put a number of it. You can call in.
Well, do me a favor.
What do you want me to do?
How long you guys on for?
Oh, I'm gonna be here for another 30 minutes, the most.
Okay,
45 minutes.
When I get home, right before you guys, hopefully I should be home in about 15 minutes.
Okay, all right. Let's do it that way.
Yeah.
All
okay.
Right. Thank you.
Conversation is very interesting.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right. Yeah, because the other disco, the other EJ Raw disco liar, was just. But anyhow, so the point here is this. So when you're successful in your area of study, there are certain area of study where the rule of law, the principle, and Francis Kofa is a God-fearing person. We all know that. So when you are at that level, there are certain things, there are certain principles. You will not allow things to slide. Now, yes, Francis Kofa could have resigned, but he's believed that this is not the way to build a true democracy. So he decided to stay. As God could have it, they have the Supreme Court, who has no authority to tell the House of Representatives how to run their business. However, if in running their business, if it's in violation of the Constitution, they will say so.
Yeah, but liberal, they will say so. But don't everybody know that is true? That that these people were acting outside of the law. Everybody in the country knew.
That's fine. That's fine. There's a saying in Grand County, in Crown Valley. They say your eye can see the snail, but you can't put your hand there right away. You got to take the stick and take the leaf off of it. So you would pick it. And that's exactly, every one of us knew that these people were in violation of the Constitution. However, None of us has the ability. None of us are crowd to interpret the violation. We are there here. We said people are violating X, Y, and Z, but nobody was taking us serious. The Supreme Court has the responsibility and had the duty to expose to the Liberian people the violation of these people. Now, they can say, we're not going to obey your ruling. That's fine. But the Supreme Court is now on record. The
But
Supreme Court.
yeah, Fatuma said Terry should tell Richard Kuhn to resign. I would tell the man to resign who I don't recognize as speaker. How will I tell him to resign?
Well, Terry, if you say you don't recognize Mr. Kuhn to be a speaker, then what's about the budgets that pass on in the administration? Are these people going to be arrested?
Terry, don't argue that point.
I'm not arguing that.
Mr. Bacon,
That's a fact.
this
You know
is
that's a crime.
have
I
to function.
Hold on,
am
sir.
in
Hold on.
100%. 100%.
The government have to function. If
I
that,
am in 100% with the court ruling yesterday that declaring that everything done under Rachel Kuhn was illegal. I'm in 100% with it. You know why? And
Thank you.
now if the government take it, they
Thank
take
you.
it. They
If
don't
it's
have to
illegal.
take it.
If you know something,
They don't have to take it. But will they be able to reverse it? No, they cannot reverse it. But must the like they say the law is blind. Must the law try to compromise what is the law to appeal? Because when we say it, that means that our budget to all is no. The woman decided to give a ruling that will be because you see, let me tell you something. Senenyo is trying to paint her legacy. She don't want to leave that place and then wahala behind her. So this case is a landmark case for her legacy. She walking there out of that place with a clean sheet. So the executive, whatsoever they want to do is up to them. It will not be on her. You understand, Mr. Bacon? It will not be on her. She walking out with a clear sheet and she spoke the law. It's up to us now to choose to live by it or not to. That's not our fault. If they even want to reverse the whole Koga election and everything, reverse everything. If JMB can say he want to reverse everything, I will agree with him. Because everything that was done illegal. It was illegal. Let us be honest. But will they do it? I doubt they will do it.
Go ahead, Jerry.
That's my point.
You see, there's a key word you use in there, legacy. The legacy is not something you take personally and say, no, because I'm a Chief Justice, so for that reason, I want to set a legacy. The legacy is the way, the interpretation of the government or what you see the law say, that's where you go back. The legacy will come later. People will still talk about former president, will still talk about their legacy. So legacy will come not when you are alive or after you have served that office. So that's something we have to talk about later. But here's the thing. I mean, there's a dissenting opinion, and which of course we are not talking about. People refuse to test it because they're not agree. That's why the dissenting opinion, because you see, that's why we had a majority and the minority. The minority of the Supreme Court, and they took a position. What a man name? He took a position, and nobody touching it. And that's why in law, anytime you make a reference, even though the majority said this, but this is the minority opinion.
Yeah, but
they always make reference to them.
Okay, all right.
There's always reference made to that minority opinion.
Right. Okay. So, Jerry, your point is quite correct. But the minority opinion is not the final. It's not the winner of the day of the. Okay. So what you say? Hold on now, Jerry. As we having the discussion, okay. That minority opinion, that history will talk that one. I don't want because we're saying now what the Supreme Court, the final ruling. Where everybody, if they wanted to, if this was a ruling that put somebody to death, that opinion is what's going to be the final. Okay, so whatever who against they putting somebody to death, that one that history will say, oh, they say that, but they say he said it, that one that our history. But the point here, the point that I'm making here is this: this thing is far from over. President Weah's statement is profound,
He lost
especially when
credibility.
Jared, don't do that. You can't say the men do not have credibility. It has nothing to do with
No,
credibility.
based upon his record, based upon his record, based
Yeah,
upon his
but
record.
Jared, here's the thing here. Here's the thing here now. Here's the thing here. Well, when you told that I used to fight all the time, I don't fight again. Then somebody, if I
Really,
walk,
you know for again, physically, not physically.
okay, what did I want that? What did I want? My
Mr. So
God.
I think I want to agree with Bob Jerry Small on that. President Weah statement is not bad. He's an opposition leader.
Yes, but guys, let me set it up. Okay, y'all go ahead and tear your part.
No, go ahead.
I'll come and help you.
He
Let me
sound
set it up.
almost like Madam Salif. Madam Salif telling the people say they must stop doing no kind of thing in the house. Everybody know Madam Salif record. She removed 2 speakers. She the one started the whole wahala.
Yeah,
they bypassing the law thing.
That's fine. And this is where Francis Kofa and his group are saying enough is enough.
Yeah, if he pull it off, it's a record for him too. It's a legacy, like I said. But in my opinion, the best option for him is resignation. And that is when I say this, sedition, then they think that I'm supporting I'm supporting the government. No, I'm not supporting the government. But hey, this is a political government. Every government wants the speakership. All right. And they will manipulate you politically to get it. The only problem I have with JMB, they did not organize what Labour said in Kufe. They did not organize this thing the way they're supposed to honor cover like the way Madam Salif did. Otherwise, by now, the whole thing is over. So it blow up in their face, and everybody has seen that all of them, they had their hands, that I don't know how Labour can call it, their hands, their toes, everything in their mouth. Everybody can see that everything now, to the extent the president now himself have show face. So they play now a hard for all to talk.
But let me go back.
From the president.
Let me go back to George Weah again. You might not agree with me, and that's fine. You might say George Weah don't have credibility. That's okay. But his statement now, the statement from President Weah did not come from George Emmanuel Weah. It came from former president of the Republic of Liberia, no matter what the condition he served.
It was a strong statement.
No matter what condition, he protected the peace of the Republic of Liberia for 6 years. He has a standing in this conversation. So the point here is that his statement is profound. He was not condemning, he was not condescending, he was not combative, any other kinds of stuff. However, he was very straight. And not only that, he was very smart and strategic in this statement. He invited the international community. Hold on.
If you hear it today, you definitely need that water.
Yeah, whatever, Jerry. Now, so what he did when he invited the international community, international partner, extending his hand to the investor through that process, that they should make sure that the Supreme Court ruling is enforced. Now, you tell me what power World Bank got to enforce the Supreme Court ruling in Liberia? No. But they can put condition on whatever money they give you. If an investor is coming to Liberia and hear the former president making those statements, they will look more into it. So and that's what I'm saying, President. We have statement for me is it's shown that he has grown. Usually, President, we don't make statement in any kind of thing there. Even when you were president, when was the last time you saw him making statement? But that he has grown, and we have to be mindful of that. Now, as far as President Baka is concerned, here's what I'm going to say on that, and I'll open the line, folks. Here's what I'm going to say on this here, and that
Can I,
is,
yeah, can I say something before you open the line, please? Sure.
yeah,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, we'll let you. Even while I open the line, you're still going to make your point. The point here is this: look, President Baka has to be very careful. Liberia do not have money making machine. The internal how do you call it, the revenue generated from home, the domestic generating revenue is not enough to support the budgetary item of the Republic of Liberia. You depend on foreign and international partner goodwill. Now, what President Baka has going for him right now is that you have Donald Trump in America as your president, who is not paying attention to Liberian nonsense right now. But it's not the same with England. It's not the same with Germany. It's not the same with Sweden. It's not the same with the European. They are paying attention because they're giving their money to you, and their citizens are also paying attention. With all of these things that is being cut by the U.S., the European going to be stepping in, and their citizens, once the money start coming in from them, their citizens going to start questioning. Not because you're in Liberia, therefore you should do away with the rule and law. So that's what I think President Weah's statement is troubling for me, the way I see it. So he has, President Baka, for me, has to be very careful how he aligns himself with this group. And the smart thing he did, that yes, this one, he can redeem himself very quickly, is to not use the word majority black. He said quorum. So tomorrow, if Kofa get quorum, he working with Kofa. Tomorrow, majority black get quorum, he working with majority black.
That don't what I say.
I read it. He said he working with quorum.
Yeah, he said quorum, but he said he working with the quorum that is able to effectively make his government to run.
Yeah, but he didn't say majority black.
I mean, he's speaking about a Pacific quorum.
He didn't say majority black. So,
I agree. He didn't make majority black, but
he can do like this tomorrow.
That person is very smart. That person who wrote that, that's something that's very smart.
That's my point. So tomorrow, if Kofa come in, he can't complain. He said, I'm working with quorum. You got quorum. Where were you? That's the nature of the 45 years or 40 some more year experience that CDC was crying about. The man, he's very smart. So let's hear from you, Jared. Then I'll open the line. Go ahead.
You talk about, you see, sometimes it might be the red messenger or the wrong messenger.
Who the wrong messenger?
Joe Weah is the wrong messenger. Joe Weah is the wrong messenger. Joe Weah is the wrong messenger. You talk about, we're still enjoying, yes. He was a former president, after Madame Sely. He served 6 years. Well, look at his record. Talk about stability in the country. Look at the death rate that we have. Go do your statistics. Look at the death rate. Even though we have peace and we're still enjoying the peace, we'll give me some credit during his administration. Well, look at it. That's what I say. He's a wrong message. It might be the right message, but the wrong person to deliver that message. Honor his leadership. Now today he realized that he need international body. That now he need international body to come to Liberia for stability. When Musu Scott case 0, auditor 0. I mean the list. I can go on the list. Or the epidemic money, $30 million 0. You talk about credibility. So let us not go there. The idea is a former president will respect his statement, but at the same time, the credibility, personally, no. You see, one thing I must respect the Mr. Kofa. He's a revolutionist. I'm gonna give him credit. With all what he has enduring this time, he still stand there. He believe in the rule of law. I'm gonna give him the applause. I'm gonna give him applause while he's still alive. Tomorrow, when everything is settled and done, he will be remembered as one of those who were fighting the system, the criminal justice system in our country, or the rule of law in our country. I hope that the Liberian people are doing it good diligence, those who were right, and make sure that he was one of those that champion to change the system. That's what he's fighting for. It's not about money. It's not about power. All he wants is the system. So I'm gonna give him credit. Let's give him credit. What credit is due. But at the same time, in military science, there's sometimes you do reassessment. You are an engineer, you're a pastor, so now you got to do reassessment. Am I losing 2 million men on the battle? And the battle I'm fighting, am I losing or am I winning? You got to do reassessment. Even in a project, in an organization, you got to do reassessment. What am I doing? Are we getting it right or are we not doing it right? And are we on message? So if I were advising COFA, let's do reassessment. What is the mission? What are we accomplished? Are we going to win? These are the questions you ask yourself. See, they are five doctrine. First, what you are doing, you must have the knowledge, knowledgeable, what you are doing. Second, the ability to execute what you want to do. Third, do you have the courage to keep fighting what you want to accomplish? Third, the confidence. That confidence, if you have that confidence, yes, we're going to win. The lastly, the personality, the five attribute. And Mr. Kofa, I believe he have all the five ability. But the question here is the confidence level. Sometimes we are overconfident and we become complacent because we think that we have that confidence. So I gave him credit for what he endured, and yet he had not even thrown the towel in up to this time. But what I can tell him to do, if the president call him, Mr. President, I want you and the man who fought for this, myself, and you three all can sit down. Three all can sit down. Let's find solution to the problem. Let's do the Liberian people work. Let's come up with a solution. We can address the issue to the Liberian people. I think he do that. Somebody will match up the right thing. Just call the president. Mr. Kofa, call the president. Somebody have to be wearing the pins. Mr. Kun, call the president. Or reach out. This is not personal. It's politics. It's the rule of law. Three of them. Somebody have to call the president and say, listen, this is what we're going on in the country, and it is dangerous for our country. Security-wise, it's fragile. It brings stability in our country. So, in conclusion, it is time for the three gentlemen to get together and find solution to the problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I think earlier Terry spoke. What happened to my program again tonight? Man, this thing they don't want it. Oh yeah. And I test talking on wrong thing here.
All right.
Okay.
I
All right.
hope you cut everyone off.
No, we're still on. We're still on. Mm. But no, I got it. Oh, call me. Okay. All right. So Terry, let me come to you. But I think you said something earlier, and I just want to respond to that a little bit, Terry. I think if you compare the disgrace that coming for hold on, let me take this call, guys. Terry, I'll be coming to you, please. Samson told I brought probably know what's your name, where you're calling from, what's on your mind.
My name is James David, calling from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Thank you for calling, sir. What's on your mind?
Evening or afternoon, wherever you are, to you people.
Thank you.
What on my mind is that, I've seen lawyers coming up from CDC saying we gotta follow the rule of law. We are the rule of law. This thing is criminal. Joseph Barker can be jailed for it. What about Joe without accepting an airplane gift? Is that rule of law? When he says he take the plane from his friends, the gift according to the liberal law, you not to accept certain amount of gift. But you rode that plane from the first time all the way to the end. Was it not against the rule of law? It's against the rule of law. You know, when I see people dancing that song, means to me, and I mean in a bird. The whole legislation will cancel it.
Hold on, my brother. Hold on. Let me merge this caller, and we'll continue with you. Hold on 1 minute. Let me merge this caller. All right, go ahead, Davis. Go ahead.
In the whole Republic of Liberia needs development. They need to get rid of the legislature. We need to ban our people for 27 years when Liberia develop. They don't get bring in. The way they are complete noise maker and fighter. Nothing good they're doing. You're not going to fighting exactly today, throwing the picture all on the floor. What I want for? They either want to clean the play. You're going to bring all the taxes that is everything you want.
Okay, hold on again. Let me merge. But go ahead, Jim. Go ahead, Len, so other people can get it. Go ahead.
Yeah, those kind of attitude, they need to. If I mean, I swear, I didn't comment the brand Nana Julia Baka. Tell me all the minister position with army people. It's happening how the police the whole country security. The whole cabinet building the postal army people, one of the military barriers. Then nobody will sit down there. They don't go sit down somewhere. Who the interest? Who interest? That you won't say interest. There's a 500 in the bread. Now it's a million. What kind of country is that? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that. Let me go to the next caller. 763 number. 763, you're next in line. Let's hear from you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Tour. This is Elvis calling from Minnesota.
Evie has arrived. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to tell you thank you for the show. Hello to you and hello to the other panelists. Look, it's like, people like Terry, they're caught between a rock and a hard place. They're doing what they call double speak. He's saying he agrees with the Supreme Court ruling. He agrees with that the legitimate speaker is Kofa. But then he's saying that what Joseph Boyka said was right. It's a political thing and that it meant to resign. Mr. Tour, if you don't have rule of law, you don't have a country. Joseph Boyka took an oath of office to protect the Constitution and to uphold it. To uphold it means that you must uphold its dignity. And when the Supreme Court rules on a constitutional issue and you go against it, you're not upholding the dignity of the Constitution. So this is the things of tyrant. These are the things of authoritarian rulers. President Boyka had just, crossed that threshold. You started probably reading his speech today. I don't know. I'm sorry. I know you guys like him. But his hands were shaking. He was really, really shaking. The people were just shaking. I don't know if it was out of fear or health reasons. But a person of that age and a person of that, constitution, what it means is his physical health, the word constitution in this regard, should not be making such pronouncement and proclamation at his age.
Evans, can you hold on 1 minute? Let me merge the other caller, please. Just hold on. I will come back to you. Let me merge this caller. All right, Evans, go ahead. James David, you gotta get off so that other people can come in, because if I get more people, we're gonna knock everybody up. Okay, go ahead, Evans. Let's hear from you.
Yeah. So when the ruling came up, we was excited, not for Funati Kofa, but because the higher court spoke emphatically on the issue, and I caution all the people on the platforms that look, I'm going to temper my excitement, because if Joseph Boyka come up, if President Boyka comes up, and he doesn't uphold his ruling, we're going to be in a constitutional crisis, and we're in that right now. And this does not augur well for our country. We must be diligent on how we move forward. I think protests, international people have talked to the president. Political stakeholders in the country have pleaded with the president to adhere to the law. And he blatantly disregarded the Supreme Court ruling. You guys have to say it as it is, because if something happens in that country, people will tend to blame those who supported the president, even when he's making bad decisions, and you still try to support him and double speak to the people on the platform is wrong. I think you just got to put it plainly and bluntly. He was wrong. He must uphold the Constitution by accepting the Supreme Court ruling.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Evie has left the building, folks. Evans has left. Okay. Let's hear from you. 214 number 214. I believe that will be Clarence. Go ahead.
Hey, Mr. Toh, how you doing?
Thank you. Thank you. Aaron Blupper will be coming to you shortly. Go ahead, Clarence.
Thank you for the show tonight. You know, I can say tonight, for they fighting a battle, but you have a battle along with him. The people who in the favor, we all support our Kofa. But you saw the attitude that you can come over there today. Because if for that the president seeing like in a good how they call you, what with them? If you can come over there, go in the building today, saw a magical intimidating chicklet. So do you think that the majority group of people will really see the kind of action of the minority go down there? It's too sad for our country. Then you bring it in, we issue all that, we are sport, well, you do this and this. These are the industrial roots of our country. What more that you can tell our presidency?
I learned a new word, industrial. Yeah, thank you. That's a new word.
Speaker. The innocent the former president white. Equal ruling a favor. The innocent will not rule a law. Cabinet Daniel, equal ruling a favor. The innocent will not rule a law. But it is time for the young men are fighting to bring sanity to our constitution. You're fighting with the wrong group of people. Because if you want to gain a political relevance, you can call about the medical there. The whole house of representatives, they are going for repair. But they are living now because of the ruling yesterday intimidating other people. So it's a long battle. The only thing I think the only person I really feeling for is a speaker for that. I recognize for that as a speaker. We know for that, but this has all the team. Thank God Mr. Tony and Deneco find out going on in that between the two counties. And not a mayor or somebody from Nima to say that they are part of it. Because the whole country are going to travel last year, something here. All the people from Grange, they people from Nima, they don't necessarily have power. But nobody talking us in it. Two schoolmen fighting for more power. What sense it mean, Mr. Toh? Frankly and Sando.
Thank you.
Two schoolmen fighting for the same power. What's it mean? Why did they come together just for the sake of the country to be peaceful? Just because of what they want money in their pocket. They're not doing it for the masses. They're doing it for what they can get. Thank you for the show.
Thank you. Aaron, you'll be the last caller. Let's hear from you.
Good evening, Mr. Toh.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for the show tonight. I just wanted to call and just make clarification on one or two things. I just listened to the last caller, but I'm not going to address him until the end. So, first of all, let's get some facts straight, okay? What constitutes a quorum? That's a question to you guys. If you guys don't want to answer, you can answer it later on. What constitutes a quorum is a group got to be presided over by a presiding officer who is the speaker. Without that, there's no quorum. Let's remember that first. That's why the Constitution says. That's why there are own rules there. Without that, there's no quorum. Once they don't have the legitimate presiding officer, there's no quorum. So now, if the president comes up and says, I'm going to deal with a group that has quorum. So, which group has quorum? Where the speaker is. It's the group that has quorum. So I listened to Mr. Marco there talking about the president make a wise decision. The Supreme Court said because the 1,500 people that want to Rachel Court, they don't have a presiding officer. It's unconstitutional. You can take the whole of Niba County, you can take the whole of Liberia and put it on a Rachel Court. Once he's not the legitimate presiding officer, it is unconstitutional. What else do you need to say? The president didn't have to come up to come say he would deal with a group that has quorum. One place quorum would be where the speaker is. Sometimes when the president reading these things, it's like the people seem to read it. That's what some of our daughters see now. And number two, Mr. Barker, all these killings that you're talking about, that former president, we don't have the morals to come and talk. All the corruption that you're talking about, who's in power today to investigate all these things? You look at party, right? The same government you got the power and you said the former government was stealing, they were doing this, they were doing that, they were killing people. What happened? What happened to that, Mr. Barker? Your former police officer in the United States, they got cold cases. You can always open a cold case file. What happened with that? Your government is in power now. If you want to talk about Brother Mususka, don't you want to know who killed her daughter? If she claims that she don't know nothing about her daughter's death? No, let's start joking when we come on this show, okay? We got too much respect for some of y'all when you come on this show.
Okay, hold on, Aaron. Let me merge the last caller. Aaron, hold on. Let me merge the last caller, please. All right, go ahead, wrap up so I can bring this guy in.
So, so when you come to this show...
Mostly I'm going to be bringing you in. If you're ready, throw your turn up. Go ahead.
Because you guys, have the platform to speak to the people. Let's speak the truth. Let's put the truth where it belongs. Don't come here and say, President, we don't have no morals to talk about. Have you never committed a crime before? Have you ever sinned before? Everything you did in your life for purpose is a battle. I mean, you keep crying for this job. You don't get it yet. I don't know when Peter Parker going to give it to you. Okay? So I will end on that. So Clarence, you're talking about fanatical behind the wrong people. See all the advisors that advising the president you brought to power. He got the most advisors on any other president in the history of Liberia, even the great United States. But he's still making mistakes left and right. Okay, he's still making mistakes. This government, the desperation in this government is so high to the point where they will do anything, just to get their things across. Anything they will do. It will start to them. Anything without the speaker is unconstitutional. What are you going to look for quorum again? You're going to go to where the speaker is.
Thank you. But before you go, let me ask you one question. You don't have to answer it. What makes you think that you have the right to say what you want to say, but we don't have the right to say what we want to say?
No. We're not talking about who has the right to say what they want to say. We're talking about speaking facts and truth.
So what make you think? Hold on. I got double question for you. What make you think that what you say we believe what you say, and what we say that's not true? What makes you think that your statement is true and what we say is not true?
I don't want to be biased to anything that I say, because you will never agree to me. You understand now on the same side. I know that already. I know that already. And everybody, all the people that you got there tonight, I know they will not agree with me, what I'm saying, but the truth is the truth. The fact is the fact. Right. The Supreme Court said it blame. Okay? And if you want to... Anyway, I don't know what Liberian people keep talking about. This disrespecting the Supreme Court. If they do that for the time he took office, for the time the Chief Justice saw in, I think he was telling the woman that I will never respect you from today going. And I guess what he's doing. Oh, okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you. Again, Aaron will be there. Oh, one more caller. Caller 3. I'm sorry. Guys, just hold on 1 minute. 314 number 314. You're next. Last caller, please. What's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
Thank you so much, Mr. Toll. This is Emmanuel Zaza.
Okay, Zaza, thank you for joining us. What's on your mind, sir?
Thank you for having me. Liberia is on my mind, and the disappointment that we are encouraging, destroying Liberia, and yet we are asking ourselves, why is Ghana better than us? Why are other countries better than us? The Constitution, Article 2 of the Constitution, it states the supremacy of the Constitution. I'll read chapter Article 2, verse 2 of that Constitution. It says, any laws, any treaties, any statute, any decrees, custom, and regulations. The legislature said they have their regulations. The Constitution says regulations. You always say we have our regulation to govern ourselves. The Constitution says any regulations found to be inconsistent with it, which is the Constitution. The regulation that you get in the House as a House of Representatives, if they are found to be inconsistent with the Constitution, to the extent of the inconsistency, be void and of no legal effect. He went further to explain the Supreme Court, pursuant to its power of judicial reviews, is empowered by this Constitution that we all swear to, is empowered by this Constitution to declare any inconsistency. We make our regulations. We make our regulations by which we function. The Supreme Court says if you make any regulation, legislatures, executive, whoever you think in our country, anything you govern yourself. Come here, I'm picking Mr. Tua. Thank you. Let me conclude.
Yeah, but don't take too long now, so we get out of it. Okay. We're way out of time.
Anything you govern yourself back, if it is not inconsistent with the Constitution, the Constitution say, the Supreme Court must say it's not correct. The fact that the Supreme Court came up and said you got your speaker in the house, you turn your back on here and got it in different place. All the things you do there is wrong. The very first thing to complete this ruling from the Supreme Court is for it to be enforced. Make law, tackle law, enforce law. The failure of the president to enforce the law made like law unconstitutional.
Thank you.
That is completely simple.
Thank you, my brother. Please don't be a stranger when we come on, join us. Thank you very much. We appreciate your comment. Okay. Again, folks, Samson told Labrador Pabrito, since Moses just joining us, Moses will let you go ahead and give us your closing. And you can wrap everything up. We'll get you 2 minutes. Yeah, because we're 2 minutes over the time. So we'll get you 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity. And I'm sorry I'm late. Sorry for my tardiness. And I've been listening to the show and really, really appreciate the conversation. The first thing I need to comment on, from my own estimation, I'm not anyone, is that people keep saying that we need to reach out to the international community. What people in our country, we need to stop doing this thing. The bikers, when they want to protest, they won't go to international. Everything that happened in that country, we need to go to the international community. We are a sovereign nation. The international community does not pay attention to our inner fights. So people need to stop writing things and thinking that they can run to the international community like a child running to their father and say, I'm going to report this and this. That's the first thing I want to say. Now, it has come to the point in Liberian politics that we have the majority and the minority. We never had that before. And this is a testimony of us having a minority group and a majority group. Now, what happened is that either one will lead. But that's what politics is, folks. Politics is defined as having to convince someone to go into your corner and whatever you're presenting for them to succumb to what you're doing. Now, in this point, when the president said he wants to work with the quorum, I think this is all political. So now, either the majority group or the minority group need to get that number that they need so that they can continue to function. And I said it someone yesterday that this is going to be so chaotic that it's going to be totally out of control. Now, number one is that the other thing that I wanted to talk about, Terry mentioned about legacy. Legacy is good. People leave good legacy, bad legacy. But what happened is that the legacy is supposed to be defined with what you did that impacted your country or your nation, not individually, not individual legacy that people wants to leave, because it only benefits you when you do things for yourself. So your legacy is always counted. How much did it affect the greater good of all, and not you as an individual? The other one, this guy here raised a very good point. The last speaker talking about Article 2, when he talks about the regulations and whatnot. And I think people are misinterpreting that decision from the Supreme Court, because I looked at it today. I look at the descending, and the descending, as my brother Jerry said, is something that needs to be looked at for the future. Because what happened here is that in that descending report, he said, if you listen to it and how that decision was brought about, it might be creating a chaos. So what needs to happen now is the politics need to take its course so that some things can happen. Either side need to start doing their political thing that they should have done from the very beginning.
Thank you.
Wait a minute, real quick, Mr. So, I beg you. They need to go and start negotiating with the other side to lure some people to their side. Because when the president talk about the quorum, there needs the people who got the quorum. Now, if Anati call a meeting and he continue to receive 120, our country come to a standstill. In democracy, all three branches need to be seated before you can function. And we have been functioning without the third branch of government, which includes the lower court. And so all the decision that was made is totally illegal. Illegal if we consider all of these things. So the conversation was great. And they talk about that what we call the balance of power. All three of these branches of government need to be functioning at its capacity as per the Constitution.
Thank you.
What I wanted to add tonight. But
appreciate it.
It was a good show, and I'll be on tomorrow.
Yes, we hope you will join us early tomorrow. But let me show you this here. You see this here? World Bank commit $490 million to support Liberia arrest agenda.
Correct.
You're not sovereign then.
Well, the fact of the matter is that because they give us money, doesn't mean we go and take our problems to them.
No, that's not it. But what we're saying.
So are you saying that if we talked about what's going on in the legislature, those people will stop the money?
No, that's not it.
And that's what it is. When people write and say, let's go to the international community. So, Judge, we are writing and say we need to.
No, but these are some of the reasons, because these people are supporting your development agenda. And Judge, we are saying, Judge, we are saying to them, you support us.
Okay.
And these are some of the things that can cause problems. We want you guys to pay attention to these.
Well, listen, Judge, we did the same thing, and he never called them to pay attention.
That's what we keep. Okay,
so that's what I'm trying to say.
But that money not free.
The national community.
I know that.
Our problem.
That money is not that money not free. That money not loan.
Exactly.
Yeah. But they could have tell you said we don't have it.
The funds that coming for nothing.
Yeah, but they could have said we don't have it.
Let me just say this: with all this saga going on, what happened to the election process? We have a video now circulating where Fanatic Kofa is in the midst talking to Koga and give him $1 million. Come on now.
Okay.
People compromised.
Okay. That's a different.
You can send that video in the chat.
Oh yeah. I was sending the video. He's standing right there. I give you $1 million.
For Kofa.
What?
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Let's hear from you, Terry. Thank you.
I'm all over the internet. I see that one. Yeah.
No, I was sending it to you. I have it. It's right. It's on my Facebook page.
Okay.
Put it in the chat, Mr. Pacific.
Thank you.
I will.
Okay. Terry, let's hear from you so we get out of here. Terry will take us home.
We're very corrupt in that country. Even the children are corrupt.
Yeah.
Oh, the whole country is
the whole country is corrupt.
So, firstly, in
Uh,
my opinion,
What y'all think?
the president has resuscitated his base.
thank you.
Who
The
Thank you.
does?
president base is on fire because that is what his. You know, when you are a leader and a warrior,
President, who president?
who president you know we're talking about? I'm not talking about the president of America.
You mean President we are?
Man,
Different
Our
man.
president, is for
Yeah.
former president.
Former president, I'm talking about former president. Statement is precise, and here is why. He is not in power. He will say all the while you accuse me of that why you came and said you were going to rescue.
Y'all good night.
And that point you can't take it from him.
Thank you, Moses.
You know, you can't take that point from him. He will say all the what the Tabata you're doing, you're talking here, you say you can't rescue. That why you're keen to rescue. So we expect you to do it better. So President Weah's statement is in place. You know me and President Weah, we can't get along. Right? But the main statement is in place. But the president resuscitated his base today. And that is what a warrior does. A warrior on the front, you have to speak to your people. And that's the same thing Jeremiah Kun did in Nima. The last statement Jeremiah Kun did changed the tide. It canceled the whole thing that even Prophet Key was talking. Jeremiah Kun looked at the people and told them, say, my people, the people want to devour us. You know, when a warrior in those days, before they go to the battlefront and they know that the enemies are way going to outnumber them, you have to have the leader speak to the people and give them confidence that even if they go to the front, they're willing to die, but they will protect their heritage. That's what Jeremiah Kun did. Today, that's what the president did. So as a result, from a political standpoint, that is what Dr. Marty said, oh man, you're not a political, I can just be looking at him. That puppet is political, and today he dealt with the political side. In as much I do not agree with his statement, and that is where I'm a different kind of guy because I like to balance my analysis. The statement that the president made from a legal side was not correct, but from a political side, that's what his base wanted, and that is a test to the waters to see whether if Fonati Kofa have the opposition backing him in full swing, which they don't. That is another weakness. The opposition is divided. They scatter. That's the same thing I was talking the last time. How can they fight this? They can't because they scatter. They're already weak. They're outnumbered. So what can we do to solve this problem? Rachel Kun resign, Fonati Kofa resign. Simple. Thank you, Liberal.
Thank you. Co-host,
Yes, sir.
tobacco, security
Yes,
analyst,
sir.
take us
Yes.
home, please.
Thank you. You see, where terrorists stop, they will start from. Joseph Barker had dropped it, the Tommy bomb, he dropped it, and the hopeless scatter. And they are all
You're lucky. You and Terry, you're lucky as supporting the woman. They gonna reply. I'm gonna get out tonight. And let me say this here. Let me say this here very quickly. You know the way you and Terry talk about our pa. It's like one time Joe Fraser's son was scheduled. I think it was 1988 or so. Was scheduled to fight. What's his name? Larry Holmes. So Marvin Fraser got on the stage, and you know how the boxer when they ready to bring them, they can be looking at each other. Marvin Fraser was looking down. He didn't want to look at what's his name, Larry Holmes in the face. So Larry, Joe Fraser left her a chin like this. He let it go and drop it. So Joe Fraser forgot. I will look at him myself. So he started looking at Joe Fraser, but Joe Fraser was not the one that was fighting. So Larry Holmes said, "Well, you look at me, what I want. You're not fighting me. The man who want for me, he want to look at me. I would be." Now the city, you're taking yourself, passing all your warrior spirit to the woman.
Oh, God.
Oh, my goodness. But go ahead, Jerry. Take us home. It's a
So,
very fun,
see,
fun
here's the
time.
thing. I want to make this point clear. When Buckeye speaks, Excellency, they say he talk fast. When he didn't talk, they say Buckeye is not speaking. And when he dropped the bomb, when everything scattered, they say Buckeye had done it again. But that's what leader does. That's what leadership is all about. And speaking on the issue. But here's the thing. Look, I come on this show to speak the fact. I mean, yeah, people always accuse me because of my affiliation. And if that is the case, the CEO always accuse me, or you're the one brought Josh Weir. Yes, I'm a mate. Only member of CDC. I know the whole history of CDC from 2004 to 2015 before the 2014 before the CDC. So nothing in CDC that Jerry back on, you know, I serve on the Bureau Committee, I play a lot of role into it. So that's not the point here. My point here is the Weir government was corrupt. It was corrupt. That's what I fought hard. Everything I had in my arsenal, I did it, and Burger won the election. That's my point. I'm not looking for a job. If I want a job, I'll go to Liberia. I can call the president and say, Mr. President, I read to come home. He will give me something to do. But that's not what I want. It's not because I want a proco. No, I'm not looking for a job. My job was to get George Weir out of, George Weir out of Liberia so the Liberian people will start suffocating. That's my point. That was my goal. That's what I did. I'm proud. I brought him to power. I took him from out of power. That's period. So people look at here and say, "Oh, I didn't looking for a job. I want Josh Weir to get out of power. He got out of power. That's my point. That was my goal, and I stand by my decision. I got nothing to fear about. I have been writing about a lot of stuff in the newspaper about corruption. Even Buckeye came to power the last time. What happened with the police people? I wrote on it. Corruption in police, deviant policing. You can read it all in the newspaper. They carry viral. So I have been fighting corruption for almost 10 to 15 years. I have written article over article, crime in Liberia, cyber crime, all these things. I've been written out. There are a lot of articles. Google me, put Jerry back on there, all African.com, put it. All my writing is there on the wall. It's not about money. I'm okay. But the thing we want to do is stability in our country. Tomorrow, that we all can go home. Whatever investment we are making in Liberia, for it to be protected, at least we can go home, enjoy our retirement, take our grandchildren home, take our children home, and let them enjoy where their ancestors came from. That's what we are fighting here for. It's not about money. When you die tomorrow, folks, you're not going to carry that money with you. You see the Pope, they put you in a box, they put you 6 feet, you're done. So it's not about money. I'm not doing it because of money. I want position. No, we want to rule a law to prevail in our country. Good night. See you tomorrow. God bless you.
So, Mr. Liberal, Mr. Bacon, you got to talk about what Yeke did today.
And, no, we're talking tomorrow. Just like late. Oh, that was a disgrace.
It will be discussed tomorrow. I'm not too sure
why
would Yeke take
the man committed a crime.
They have now you and what's the other guy? The guy who broke into Kofa office. Yeah. So they both on the same level, and those things. Colette. But those things that you can't do anything to them because they did it in the House of Representatives. There's a rule.
No. You can do it. You can do it if you're in chamber, not do it when you're outside the chamber. If you're in chamber, yes, but not in chamber.
Even if you're out, unless you're outside of the building, I believe the way the people behave over there, unless you're outside of the building. But once you did it inside the building,
that's a destruction of
property. The people that Yeka, then sometimes they don't think, well, you got victory to you, and you're gonna snatch. You're gonna snatch the victory out of your hand like that. That was ridiculous. That was bad. But Yeka, then they go overboard most of the time. Liberian, and that have to do with the war. We have not healed yet. Right. Now, what Yeka did here during the war, it was common. The other faction did something to you. Once you have the upper hand, you go and destroy everything that if you can do that. So those are the same mentality that is still happening. But I want to thank all of you, Jerry and Rescue 2. Thank you guys. That's Terry Collins, of course. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. We appreciate it. Let's meet on Mr. Sojo tomorrow, where we will continue with the Tabata as well. But I really appreciate you guys coming and joining me tonight. Thank you very much. Good night. Again, Samson told Labropa Rito. I want to thank all of you again, those of you that continue to write here. Thank you very much. We appreciate all of you guys. Your statement here. It's very encouraging. Let's put it that way. Because it's not like you don't have anything to do but to tune into us and watch us. It's very encouraging and something we will continue to cherish as well. We want to thank you guys for your continued support of Liberia Public Radio. Those of you that don't know, Liberia Public Radio is doing a fundraiser for the upkeep of the new station we have in Monrovia. We want to make sure that station is maintained. So Mr. So will talk about that tomorrow as well. I want to thank you guys, and I'll say good night to all of you. Good night, folks.
Rachel de Kibo, je adé. Gogo, Yaliba, Bagno, Yalia, Porapao, Abigodo, Yani. Abigodo, Yani, Stefan Soko, Awabile, Nana, Amabinara, Godo, Yaliba, Stefan Soko, Porapao, Aya, Godo, Yaliba, Amana, Very Casawa, America, Very Titi, Papa, Palesa, why don't you get by your secret? I'm a pie. Oh, yeah, go to Nani. I didn't find your for a problem. Hey, yeah, oh, Tabas is the no, I am very Papa. Tabas is the no, I am very. Why, yeah, I didn't know you there for a problem. Godo nyani. Yoso madejo play. Amro ayo. Ade wa ba bere wa sabake. Wa ba be. Apawe mabani. Ni ama. Apawe mabani. Abara su lo gbele ba yo. Abi na mi ka bere titi baba. Asa tu